Heart Evangelista's life has often looked glamorous from the outside, filled with luxury fashion, art, fame, and influence. But behind the designer gowns and polished public image were years of controversy, emotional struggles, family conflicts, and public scrutiny that repeatedly placed her at the center of entertainment headlines in the Philippines. One of the biggest controversies in Heart Evangelista's life erupted in 2013 when her parents, Reynaldo Ong Palco and Cecile Payawal, publicly opposed her relationship with politician Francis Chiz Escudero. The issue quickly became one of the most talked about celebrity family feuds in the country. Her parents held emotional press conferences where they accused Chiz of manipulating Hart and allegedly changing her behavior. They described him as arrogant, opportunistic, and controlling. The controversy shocked many fans because Hart had always been known for her sweet and gentle image. The conflict became even more painful when her parents openly admitted that they did not approve of Chiz because of his previous marriage and the large age gap between him and Hart. Her mother even threatened legal action against him during the height of the dispute. Despite the pressure from her family and the public attention surrounding the issue, Hart stood firmly beside Chiz. Their disagreement caused a deep estrangement between Hart and her parents that lasted for years. The pain of the feud became very visible when her parents did not attend her lavish wedding in 2015 at Balesan Island Club. Although the family eventually reconciled years later, the controversy remained one of the defining emotional battles of Hart's personal life. Another major controversy surfaced in 2023 when Hart experienced a very public fallout with her longtime Glam team composed of makeup artist Justin Soriano and hairstylist Jack Aguilar. For years, the team had been closely associated with Hart's transformation into a global fashion icon, so their sudden split immediately sparked rumors online. Speculation spread rapidly that the team allegedly misused Hart's credit card and accumulated large expenses without permission. Although the accusations were never fully confirmed publicly, Hart posted cryptic messages on social media about betrayal, unpaid installments, and broken trust, which intensified public curiosity. The situation became uglier when Hart hinted that people close to her had tried to damage her reputation in the international fashion industry. She implied that some individuals had taken advantage of her connections and attempted to sabotage her career behind the scenes. Fans closely followed the drama because the fallout happened at the same time that Hart was gaining enormous international attention during Paris and Milan fashion weeks. The controversy later evolved into a rumored rivalry between Hart and Miss Universe 2015 Pia Wurtzbach. After Hart's former Glam team began working with Pia, online fans started comparing the two celebrities constantly. Social media users accused both camps of throwing subtle shade at each other. One incident that became highly discussed involved Hart posting a video of her dog wearing an expensive Bulgari necklace shortly after Pia became a Bulgari ambassador. Many fans interpreted the post as a hidden response to Pia's achievement. Although Hart repeatedly stated that she had no personal problem with Pia herself, she admitted discomfort with the people surrounding her. The supposed rivalry dominated fashion and entertainment discussions online for months. Hart also faced criticism related to wealth and politics, especially during 2025 and 2026 after controversies involving her husband's political career emerged. Following Chiz Escudero's reported association with a massive flood control scandal and political tensions surrounding his leadership, some critics began questioning Hart's luxurious lifestyle. Online users accused her of being disconnected from ordinary Filipinos and labeled her a Nepo wife. Many questioned whether her wealth and expensive lifestyle were linked to political influence. Hart emotionally defended herself through social media, insisting that she built her fortune independently through more than 2 decades of hard work in entertainment, fashion, endorsements, art, and business. She reminded critics that she and Chiz had signed a prenuptial agreement before marriage and emphasized that her career success existed long before entering politics through her husband. Despite her explanations, the criticism affected her publicly, and reports claim she reduced some of her Fashion Week appearances because of the pressure and controversy. Long before these controversies, Hart Evangelista was already a familiar face in Philippine entertainment. She was born Love Marie Payawal Ong Pauco on February 14, 1985, in Manila, Philippines. Her stage name, Hart, was inspired by her Valentine's Day birthday. She was born into a wealthy and influential Filipino family. Her father, Reynaldo Evangelista Ong Pauco, came from the family behind the successful Barrio Fiesta restaurant chain, while her mother, Maria Cecilia del Galigo Payawal, belonged to a prominent clan connected to sugar plantations in Camarines Sur. Hart grew up in a privileged but sheltered environment. During part of her childhood, she lived in Foster City, California, near San Francisco. She attended Audubon Elementary School before eventually returning to the Philippines during her teenage years. After moving back, she studied at Colegio San Agustin in Makati. However, her growing career in show business began interfering with her traditional schooling. She later transferred to ABS-CBN's distance learning program and eventually completed her high school education through the alternative learning system. Hart was only 13 years old when a talent scout discovered her. She soon entered the entertainment industry through ABS-CBN's Star Magic program in the late 1990s. Her fresh face, charm, and elegance quickly made her one of the most popular teen stars of her generation. She became widely known through the youth-oriented show Gmic and formed successful love teams with actors like John Prats and Jericho Rosales. As her popularity grew, Hart starred in several successful television dramas and films, including Hiram, Ang Panday, Luna Mystica, My Korean Jagia, I Left My Heart in Sorsogon, Ang Tanging Ina, Mano Po 6, and Trophy Wife. She also became a VJ for MYX and hosted various television programs, establishing herself as one of the most recognizable actresses in Philippine entertainment. Outside acting, Hart reinvented herself as an artist using her birth name, Love Marie. She developed a recognizable painting style inspired by artists like Frida Kahlo and Gustav Klimt. Her paintings often featured women, flowers, and animals with dreamy and emotional themes. She eventually held successful art exhibitions in the Philippines and abroad. One of her most unique trademarks became painting directly on luxury Hermes bags, transforming them into one-of-a-kind artworks. What reportedly began as an attempt to cover a stain on her own bag later became one of her most famous artistic signatures. In recent years, Hart transformed herself from a local celebrity into an international fashion icon. She became a regular attendee at Paris and Milan Fashion Weeks, frequently collaborating with luxury brands such as Louis Vuitton, Dior, and Schiaparelli. International magazines and fashion organizations began recognizing her influence, especially for her ability to generate massive online engagement and media value for brands. Despite her glamorous image, Hart's love life also remained heavily discussed throughout her career. Before marrying Chiz Escudero, she had several high-profile relationships. Her romance with Jericho Rosales between 2005 and 2008 became one of Philippine entertainment's most famous celebrity relationships. Fans admired their chemistry, but the relationship eventually ended due to career pressures and family disapproval. Before Jericho, she also dated John Prats during her teenage years, while later relationships included Daniel Matsunaga and several rumored celebrity connections. Hart and Chiz Escudero eventually married on February 15, 2015, at Balazine Island Club. Their marriage survived intense public criticism, political scrutiny, and personal tragedy, including the heartbreaking miscarriage of twins in 2018. Over the years, however, the couple remained together and even renewed their vows in 2024, symbolizing reconciliation, healing, and stability after years of controversy. Beyond entertainment and fashion, Hart also expanded into business and investments. She became co-founder of the beauty and wellness brand Pure Living and co-owner of Harlan Beach Villa in Boracay. She also invested heavily in luxury real estate, including her famous Paris apartment nicknamed the Tree House, a luxurious Manila residence filled with designer furniture and artwork and properties connected to her ambassador roles in upscale residential developments. Today, Hart Evangelista remains one of the Philippines' most influential celebrities. Her life story is a combination of privilege, fame, controversy, heartbreak, reinvention, and ambition. From a sheltered young girl born into wealth to a globally recognized fashion personality and artist, she has continuously evolved while facing criticism, betrayal, family conflict, and public pressure. Despite the controversies that repeatedly surrounded her, Hart managed to preserve her relevance and transform herself into one of the most recognizable Filipino personalities on the international stage.